Hello, this is Sim Racing Corner, and I have a couple of trackpads to show you. One I've owned a long time, and one I've just had for a couple of days, really. And I used them. Well, I used this one on my sim rig for quite some time, and then I swapped over to a trackball. And more recently, I went back and used this again, only because of convenience, because it's just nice and easy to mount somewhere because it's small and it's it's easily accessible. But the trackball was good, but just a little bit unwieldy. And I went back to this, and I remembered why I went to a trackball, partly because of the fact this tiny little pad requires you to go from one edge to move the cursor around. You have to do a lot of this, which is a little bit tiresome. Although I only use it for navigating menus in games on the sim rig, so it's not really a big deal. But I removed the trackball and went back to this again. I forgot why I stopped using this, but I've been using it for about a week, and then I kind of looked around again and I saw this from the same guys, so I picked this up, and this is much nicer. This one's going on the sim rig, and this one's obviously just come off the sim rig. But I guess I'll just show you. This can be useful. I make these videos because sometimes this will be useful to someone. I guess, in some way. But you can just see here how many times I have to move my finger across to get there. So it's like 3.5 times. This one's much nicer. I mean, although it's only about a third bigger, it looks a lot bigger, but the actual surface area is only about a third. And I can go pretty much edge to edge on this 1080p screen here, which is great. So yeah. They both support multi-touch, so it's kind of handy for this sort of stuff. If you've got a web page or even just an in-game menu with a scroll bar on it, you can just go up and down, so that works with 2 fingers. Same on that one. I don't know, I've got an ad on there, because it's just... well, let's get rid of that ad. Don't want to see the ads, do you? Anyway. So you can do pinch and zoom as well. That works. I'll put it in view so you can just see that. So that works. Not a feature I really use, but I do find the 2-finger scrolling is very handy. So you're down there. On this one, it's got clicky left and right mouse buttons. On this one, it's less clicky. I think there's different type of switches on. I think there's little cap kind of switches on there. And these are micro switches. And but yeah, what you want to see is the gloves test. And I think, I kind of think one of the reasons that took me over the edge actually with to replace it with the trackball originally, with some of the gloves I have, because I have a few different pairs of gloves, is the sensitivity. Some of the gloves worked okay and some didn't, and I was testing a few gloves earlier, and this one actually doesn't do anything on there, or it's really kind of doesn't do anything, right? But on this one, it was actually pretty. I mean, it's still not perfect, but it's certainly better. Certainly getting something working on there, but probably better to just take the glove off, really, I guess, for this particular glove. But a lot of gloves have those, a kind of a different portion on there for using on mobile phones and tablets. And that does work on this. So those sort of gloves, which I'll show you one, which does have that. So on this glove, you can just see there's a shinier piece on there. And that does work absolutely fine. But yeah, by having sort of a fatter finger with a glove on, it's less, it's a little bit cumbersome. So that's why I picked up this trackpad, because it's just much easier rather than taking the glove off all the time, which is a bit of a pain. So so this is actually pretty good, and the fact it has a massive amount of sensitivity. I do excuse the massive mouse point. I thought it was required for this sort of demonstration. I've got another glove, and interestingly, this doesn't have anything on the end. I can tell. Actually, I think it may have some sort of special stitching on the end, which you can't really see. But this glove works as well. I think this works on both of them. I think it does. Yeah, it does work on that one, but much better on the newer model, or on the bigger model, let's say. Yeah, I figured anyone who's interested in getting a trackpad for their sim racing rig and they wear gloves, this is the first thing you're going to ask, because otherwise you're having to continuously take your finger off the, well, take your glove off and to be able to use the trackpad. But this one seems to work okay. I'll try another pair of gloves. So here's some Sparko Hyper grips, and I'm going to need to have a special cap on the end so you can actually just use your normal finger if you really want to, but it also has this sort of special fabric thing on here which should also work. Actually, this works really well, the Hyper grips. It feels really accurate. I think some of the other gloves feel slightly sluggish, but this one seems fine. Yeah, it works on both of them. Any more gloves? Yeah, sorry about that. Here's a real test actually. These are some karting gloves. Some people, you know, in sim racing do like to use karting gloves, and I mean, these are super unwieldy because they're really thick. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I've ever tested this. So that's not working on that glove. On there, well, glove on the pad, but it works on there. So that's cool. Works really well actually. Yeah, it's absolutely fine. You also has the other gestures it has is like double click when you tap on there. Yeah, I'm trying to think if it's that rubber piece on there. You can see the grip. Is it the? Oh yeah, okay, yeah. So the bit it's actually it's registering is just this rubber area which is on there. But on other parts of the material it doesn't pick it up. So yeah, it's that's interesting. That's interesting. I didn't really, yeah. I'm not sure what it's why that works. I'm not on other parts of the fabric, but there you go. That works with all my gloves. This one, I guess, back to these mountain biking gloves, which are Troy Lee design. These are nice gloves, sim racing. And that's not too bad. Yeah, that's not too bad. That's all right. But on that one, yeah, it's really hard to use, so makes it awkward and I have to take the glove off. So yeah, that was good. Yeah, so good pickup, since I do prefer using a trackpad over the trackball if possible, only because of the smaller footprint. It's easier to mount and it keeps it out of the way, and yeah, that's pretty good. So there you go. That was worth testing out. I think it's worth showing you. Or maybe it's not, who knows. But anyway, there you go. That is the PERIPAD-504. Link in the description if you're interested in this. It was, I think I paid $21.99, and this one, I think I looked on Amazon, it's $17.99 at the moment. So definitely worth picking up the larger one, since it's not much more and it's clearly more sensitive and much more usable. So even for just desktop use for temporary stuff, this is actually a pretty decent little trackpad for cheap. So that's cool. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching as always. I'll be back soon with something new. So take care, happy simming, and bye bye for now.